Okay, we're back. So let me set up the live. Wait for everybody to find us. Hope everybody's having a good day. It's Monday Midday Live. Welcome to the stream. Okay. It's like we're live. So that's good. All right. Okay, so we'll see if this does a little bit better. Looking to get a little bit better service over here. All right, let me do something real quick, as we usually do. Get everything going, get everything rolling for the day. On the Monday Midday Live, I had to find another parking lot that had better service. I think it's better over here. I don't know. It said it was good where I was at, but the live was just cutting out and everybody was having issues. So whatever, we're just gonna leave it at that. Let's see, and we're just gonna roll with it the way it is. I think this one looks pretty good. I'll wait for some people to show up and let us know. But yeah, I guess I'll do it again. I'll ask you, if you're watching the replay, where you got gas recently, the most recent time you got gas, what price was it? I got gas today at $2.63. That's how much I paid for it. So that was awesome. Turn the car off here. $2.63. I was really impressed. So I got as much gas as I could possibly get, which is, just to fill up the tank. And it did that. $34 filled up the whole tank. And so I was really happy about that. I didn't even have to use the upside. Super awesome going on there. So we got the Monday Midday Live. Just went to the bin store. Didn't find much. Found some microphones, which I don't even know if the one that I have hooked up right now is working, and I won't know until we get some people in the house. And so let me work on this. Let me put this stream somewhere. Real quick. We'll see if we can test it. I don't know if I can test it right here. Is there any sound? I don't know. Okay. All right. Well, we're just going to have to hang out, and I'll assume that everything is working for now. And yeah, let's go with it. But we'll do a little hangout. We'll see who stops in. We'll see who stops into the live stream and says hello, and we'll do some talking about some different things. So we'll do some door dashing later. I'm going to do some door dashing. I don't do that on camera. It's when I get into the DoorDash, I don't really feel like filming stuff. You know what I mean? I could probably do it, but there's a lot of people who do who do film it, whatever. But I DoorDash a lot. I've done over 13,000 deliveries with DoorDash. So if you have any questions about that, I'll be happy to answer them. But first, we got to make sure that the sound is working and that the video is working. I feel like this place has a lot better service than the last one. So yeah, we're just gonna hang out, and we'll get the stream going, and we'll get the chat going here, hopefully. So looks like somebody's jumped into the stream here. Hi, John. I can hear and see you. Thank you. Hi, Jesse. Hope you're doing well. I got a different microphone set up today, so I'm really trying to. That was the goal of going live today. Really was testing this out, see if it sounds good or it can be improved. But I did live yesterday, and I was using this new phone, and the audio was no bueno. So hopefully this is at least an improvement, and we're working on always getting better with the channel. So, it's been long enough. I think I got like 16,000 or 1,600 subscribers, and I have never upgraded my microphones or anything like that, and I owe it to you guys to do a little bit better. So this is the thing that I could do within my budget. I have a little lav mic, and I have it up here on the visor, which is pretty close to me. So hopefully it sounds good. And then it's funny because I got this one, and then I found this lav mic set. I was talking about it in the other live stream before it cut out, for $5. And it's like this plugs into the phone, and then this is the microphone. And this is essentially what I'm using, except for the one I have up here has a dead cat on it because it's a little bit windy and it's hot out. So I want to have the windows open, but we're doing the best we can. But yeah. Oh, by the way, if you're still in here, Jesse, I find stuff all the time at the bin store that you would love. You do, you know, like the tape, the different types of tape and stuff. I find stuff like that at the bin store sometimes, and I think about you, and I'm like, man, I should just go ahead and grab it. In fact, next time I may just go ahead and grab it. And then if you have a place, maybe I can just send this stuff to you, because it's, you know, usually the items are $1 or maybe even $2 for $1, depends. But you find all kinds of little arts and crafts type stuff. And I personally don't really have much use for it because it's just not my medium, right? It's just not what I do artistically. But I don't know. I think your channel, every time when I see that stuff, I'm like, man, I wonder if there's somebody out there that could be using this stuff. You know what I mean? Stuff that I probably would just pass right over. Sound is much better. Put you on the TV. It sounds better. That's great. I'm glad that it sounds better. That's what we're trying to do, is improve things, you know. Thank you for thinking of me. That's awesome. Yeah, well, no, and you know, I do. Because I see the stuff and I'm like, who do I know that I know somebody that does that? And yeah, so maybe I'll start just stockpiling or whatever. And if I ever get a big box full, send it your way. Yeah, because it's next to nothing. It really doesn't. The stuff at the bin store really doesn't cost much at all. Like I said, this set of microphones was $5. It's not the one I'm using, but now I'm like, well, dang, I should have just waited, tried this out. So I'll be experimenting with this soon. I may do a video comparing them. I don't know. I might just go full on nerd with it. I'm actually technologically, I'm not very advanced at all, right? I'm a caveman, but when I get on something, I really get on it. And so like sometimes like this happens, like where I found this microphone, and then I'll end up finding more for cheap. I'll just have microphones just coming at me from all different directions. So it's kind of cool in a way. But then I get to nerd out on it. So even though I don't know much about it, I'll have all these microphones and I'll say, look, well, you know what? I might as well just do a video and just record the different ones. So maybe I will. But these are both no name brand, just Chinese kind of made microphones or whatever, but that should be good. Bin store sounds fun. Yeah, so I highly suggest it for some stuff that you're into, and you may find stuff. Like I'm moving that stuff out of my way to find things that I buy and sell, and also things that I use. And it's just like, because I can't really sell it because there's not really a lot of profit. A lot of times it isn't like high level name brand stuff. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it isn't. But I wouldn't know as far as the stuff that that you would be looking at. But yeah, I see it. And I'm just like, man, somebody could probably use some like so much of this stuff. I just don't know how to connect it to the people that would like it. You know, I do that with eBay, but I know a certain like type of items, right? And so there's always stuff that I'm probably just going through and moving out of the way, and it would be great for somebody else. You know, it's just I just don't know anything about it. So, but cool, yeah, dude. I appreciate you being here today. I appreciate everybody being here and spending a little bit of time. I think I'm going to start doing these Monday midday lives a little bit more often. It's just that part of the week where it's the beginning of the week for most people, I guess you could say. And but what I do is I go to the bin store pretty much every Monday. I go to the bin store, and then I have this like dead period between there and times when it's good to Doordash. So it's just a good time. And I'm in the city, so I can get really good service here. You know, I had problems with that earlier, but I can get pretty good signal in this area of the city. So yeah. So it's possible to go live, you know, and I have maybe an hour or so to kill, and it makes sense. So I can hang out with some of you guys. But yeah, I definitely suggest the bin store. The thrift store is good. And for that kind of stuff, but you probably already know that. And, you know, I find all kinds of stuff at the thrift stores, man. I like thrifting, but at the same time, nowadays, it's not as good as it was. Goodwill, mostly is not as good as it was. And I am picking on Goodwill specifically because they're the ones that have auction sites of their own. So they've changed everything over, where most of the good stuff, as a reseller, I find that stuff, and a lot of people don't like resellers because they feel like we've ruined the market or whatever, but it's not true. Most of it is public resellers, people on social media, and I'm not blaming them either. I'm just saying that since it has become part of the awareness, then places like Goodwill have now changed their strategy, and they take a lot of the good stuff out before it even hits the floor. So not only do resellers won't have access to it, any individual who wants to go in there and get a good deal on things also does not have access to it. And it has nothing to do with resellers. That is actually Goodwill that does that. And that's a shame. And so they actually want top dollar for all that stuff. And so they put it on auction sites and things like that, which kind of ruins the game for everybody. Like, you know what I mean? In a way. So I haven't really found good deals at Goodwill for a long time. It's been a long time. I used to be able to go, over there and get a lot of good stuff. And we're talking about buying and reselling things. If you're in a Goodwill, you're probably looking at like the old radio that nobody that's in there really wants. You're probably looking at just old little, like, as seen on TV things that nobody really wants, but somebody on the internet wants them, so they're going to sit there probably on the shelf anyway. So the resellers aren't really taking all the good stuff. But what has happened over the years is, since the reselling has become popular, places like Goodwill, they caught on to it, and they were like, oh, we can bring more money in. Hi, Handicapped Traveler. How you doing, Dan? I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us for the Monday Midday live stream. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. So that park that you were checking out the other day was absolutely beautiful. That was an amazing place. That's somewhere I would love to go hike. It's crazy how they have like a beach area, and then they had the hiking area the way it was. It was just amazing. It looked like a really cool place. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's I thought that was cool, man. So it's a cool spot. Maybe it's not 100% accessible, all of it, to everybody, but I think, I don't know, they did a pretty decent job, I guess. Like, but definitely it's a beautiful place, and so people should definitely get out and do that. I might go for a hike after the stream today, even though I'm in the middle of the city. Maybe I'll drive out of the city a little bit, and I'll do a little hike or something real quick before I Doordash. It's good to get a good walk in every now and then, and also just to get some fresh air and scenery and get around the trees and stuff like that. A lot of the state parks in PA are that way. Okay. Well, it's a beautiful state. No, I mean, I'm in North Carolina. We have a lot of beautiful areas and parks as well. To varying degrees on how they're upkept, but it's really cool. You love hike? Yeah. It's amazing, and it's good to get out. And I love the handy-capable thing. That's a great mindset. Yeah, a lot of people have a victim mindset today, and kind of like whatever, but when your whole channel is a testament to not having a victim mindset. I don't like that. But yeah, I love those hiking videos, man. It makes me want to get out and hike, and because I haven't done that in a few days at least. I was over. I have a lot of hiking areas. They're kind of advanced hiking areas that are near my location where I live, because I live out in the country. I live not too far from the city, but I live out in the country, and there's a lot of the hiking locations around creeks and little miniature mountain kind of areas. It's not a mountainous area at all, but it's like there are hills. There are little places called mountain whatever, and a lot of creeks and a lot of hiking areas, and beautiful places, really. A few little small waterfalls and things like that, but I should go out more, but I end up sometimes just walking around the backyard, walking circles around the backyard, because I don't have time. I feel that I don't have time to invest in going to the actual hiking location, but I probably do. You know what I mean? I could probably jump in and out of there just as quick. The thing is I like to start my morning with a hike too sometimes, and I don't always. Sometimes I have work to do at the house, so I go walk circles around the backyard. And if you don't believe me, there's a video on my other channel, Real Thoughts Project. And I think it's the last video I did. I'm actually walking. I'm in my backyard, and you can see there's like a path where it's grass. It's actually overgrown because it's the back, and also my lawnmower broke. So that's another story. The front I got mowed, but the back I did not because I had to use the real mower. But anyway, you can see that there's like a path that's there's a spot there's no grass. It's just all dirt, and that's because I walk a circle around the backyard almost every day. So having been born in Western PA, I give people a hard time about what a hill is. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I know. So it could be worse because, you know, I lived in Florida for a short period of time, and in Florida there are no hills at all whatsoever. The only hills are like man-made mounds that were either there before, like, you know, in the 1400s or whatever, or something the Spanish put in the 1600s, or, you know, something they did for construction now. But in Florida, there's pretty much, it says it's a flat, and all the roads are straight. There's no curves, anything like that. So yeah, when people come from Florida and they learn how to, and they drive, even here, because we have a lot of like curvy roads and stuff and hills. Yeah, they don't know how to, it's kind of funny because, you know, if you learn how to drive in Florida, you learn how to drive in a straight line. The only things that are curved is I lived near the beach when I was there, and you know, there's a road that's the beach road. It just kind of follows the curve of the beach, so that's a little bit curved, but everything else is mostly a grid. Yeah, so kind of boring driving down there. Really, you got to make it interesting for yourself, which some of us do from time to time. But yeah, now Pennsylvania is a beautiful state. I mean, I've been up there. When I was a kid, I used to go up there, and maybe once a year, something like that, and we would go through a lot of the state. And then I was in, I did go to Philadelphia, I think, one time, also as a young person. And then, yeah, but I haven't been back in a long time. But when you get out of the cities in the country, it's beautiful. A couple weeks ago, I had to drive part of Western. Driving in that area. Yeah, I don't know if I've actually driven in Western Pennsylvania much, but if it's anything like Western North Carolina or Eastern Tennessee, then maybe I know a little bit about what you're talking about. We've gone to you know, because that's like the mountainous region starts in the west part of the state, and the Smoky Mountains, and it's most of the roads are pretty good, but there's occasionally roads that, you know, they're a little sketchy. Yeah, not as many as Western. Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, I would like to go visit up there. I haven't spent enough time up north. I've done a lot of traveling from where I'm at down towards south, down towards the south, towards the bottom, on the East Coast, as far as. And we say coast, but like from between the mountains and the sea here, that corridor or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I've done a lot of that, but I haven't done a lot of up north, you know, like I've traveled to Pennsylvania and I've been through it a little bit, but I've never gone up there to just explore. Now that's what I would like to do. The Appalachian Mountain Range. Yep. And that's a very old mountain range. Yeah. Ancient mountains. The West Coast mountain range is actually kind of fun too. And it's kind of different, but it's definitely very interesting. Of course, over there, some places you have, depending on where you're at, you have like redwoods. So you have these giant trees you can drive through, you know, stuff like that. Of course. I've been to the Smoky Mountains, a lot of curved roads. I grew up in the country of Maryland, so I'm used to winding roads. Yeah. So North Carolina, Maryland, Pennsylvania, we have the winding roads. And but yeah, Smoky Mountains, man, great place to go if you haven't. And a lot of curved roads for sure. But there's a lot of curved roads here too, even where I live. So in the city, you know, it's kind of gridded out most places, but even around here. So if you go to, so there's a city near here called Chapel Hill, and it's interesting because if you go to Chapel Hill in town, There's a lot of hills. It's actually hills, and it seems a lot like you're driving in the mountains. I mean, you're not. It seems like it because a lot of the neighborhoods are in forests, and the houses are built on the side of hills, very similar to the way they do out there in the Smoky Mountains. And so the roads and the driveways are very steep. The roads are kind of steep and curvy, but it's just a small little area called Chapel Hill, and it's like that. It's kind of interesting though. You're driving from like Raleigh or whatever, or Durham, and you go into Chapel Hill, and it's like a whole different kind of world in some of the neighborhoods north of Baltimore City. All right. I've been through Baltimore a couple times too. Terrible traffic when I went through. Just saying. I think I stayed, actually. Might have stayed there one night. I know a friend of mine had his first child in Baltimore. And we went, it was when I was younger, and we went up there, and I was like, man, this is wild. Like, I grew up in Maryland. Oh, okay. So you guys both grew up in Maryland. That's kind of wild. Right here in the live stream, both of you. Traffic's bad around the city. Yeah, north of the country. That's good. That's good. So I'm not far from Durham. I'm not far from Raleigh, and the traffic has gotten to the point where it's getting that way here. It used to be good. Raleigh used to be. Oh, you grew up in Pennsylvania. That's true. My bad, Dan. I knew that. I knew that because you just said that. I don't know what I was thinking, but Raleigh has gotten really bad with traffic. Maybe not as bad as Baltimore, of course, but it used to be this awesome city that was not very heavily populated, lots of trees everywhere. There's still a lot of trees everywhere, but it's just really cool, easy driving city. Even in 5 o'clock traffic, it wasn't terrible. We'd have this thing called the Belt Line, which is the it's the 4-lane road that goes around everything. But highway, and you would start having accidents on that, years back, and that did happen during 5 o'clock traffic because people are driving a little faster. You got more lanes, more people. But now it has gotten to the point. It is getting to the point where it's very kind of difficult during 5 o'clock traffic to actually get from one side of town to the other, especially on some of the main roads that we have here. And it's a shame, that's happened, but it's growth. The Research Triangle Park, all that is not. This area is all kind of tied into that as far as like where people come to live here. And there's a lot of jobs available, between here, Durham, and Chapel Hill. And I say here because I'm in the city of Raleigh right now. I don't live here, but I'm here right now as I speak. And so there's a lot of big influx of people. And it's just been this huge growth, population boom kind of here. And I don't think they've really kept up with it as far as the roads and the drivability and things like that. And it's sad to see because it used to be fun. I actually lived here for a couple of years, and it really wasn't so bad. It was growing then, but it wasn't to the point where it is now, where it's wild. And obviously the taxes have gone through the roof, and the housing prices have gone through the roof, of course. But it's probably happened in a lot of places, especially cities. Henderson, North Carolina in March. You told me that the other day, and I'm not sure how far that is from Raleigh. So I'll tell you. I can't tell you exactly, but it's like maybe 45 minutes max from Raleigh. There's something called Capitol Boulevard, Highway 1. I'm not far from it now, but you take Highway 1, you go north, you get to Henderson. And like I said, 45-minute drive, if that. So you're going to be very close to Raleigh. Very close to Raleigh. That's actually really cool. Now, I told you, and I think I told you when you mentioned that before, because it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I mentioned that I have videos in Henderson too. I have driving videos. They're just dash cam videos. These are the first ones I ever did, and on the channel here, before I kind of had the concept that it does now. So I just had some driving videos up. And there's a whole playlist for Henderson. You want to see what it looks like. I don't know if you have been there or not, but yeah. So yeah, that's interesting. So Henderson used to be a textile town, and the wealth that was made there was made in textiles for the most part. There's probably a few other things that I'm missing, but a lot of that shut down. So there's a lot of old buildings in Henderson. We should probably go explore actually in Henderson, because there's a lot of old buildings out there still kind of left from that era of the textile, I guess. I don't want to say boom, but they had, companies there, and there's still some stuff like that exists in Henderson and Oxford as well, which is a nearby town. But for a large part of that is kind of dead. And so there's a couple big companies out there that exist that people work at, and then there's all the little stuff. But yeah, it's not what it was. You know what I mean? It's had to change. It's had to transform a little bit, which is, that's life, right? But sort of like Asheville, kind of. Now Asheville is obviously like its own thing for sure, and it's morphed into a newer thing, right? A different thing. I don't know if the whole keep Asheville weird thing was always a thing or not, but when I've gone over the years, and it has changed a good deal. It's just changed a lot, and some for good, but some for, you kind of wish you could see it like years back. You wish you could see it in the past. Another example of that, not exactly like Asheville, but is Gatlinburg. Gatlinburg in Tennessee used to be like this kind of getaway, but like almost small town-esque getaway, that you could, for some people, you could go on vacation there, but it wasn't swamped. It wasn't like a lot of people that would go on vacation. Just, it was a place where people would go, and it was it had a small town charm to it. It's cut into the side of part of it's like cut through a side of a mountain. Like, it's crazy. And if you've never been, you should go. But the thing is, don't go during tourist time, because it's so busy. It's too busy now, honestly, to be as much fun. And so now they have like things like Ripley's. They have, I don't know, just all the big stuff, right? All the big touristy stuff. And you got all the big touristy groups and crowds that come through. And it's really not the same, even as it was when I was maybe 8 or 9, 10 years old, that I remember going. It was touristy then too. But then you look at pictures from before that, maybe 20 years prior to that, and it looks like it was actually awesome. Not as many stores, not as many resorts, but charming, definitely fun. Drove through Gatlinburg while hiking in the Smoky Mountains. Yes, most people go. It's one of the places most people go. It's not too far from a place called Pigeon Forge, which is another kind of touristy place where people go. The plan for Pigeon Forge is a lot more open, kind of. So it's more tolerable, but still a lot of traffic there too. But Gatlinburg, you've driven through it. So that one kind of road, it curves it's in the mountain. You come in as a curve, and then it comes in and it goes into the Gatlinburg, right? And it's that main road, and just so much stuff is there now, and it's just, sometimes you're like stuck in traffic trying to find parking. Parking's like $10 or whatever, and maybe it's more now. It's been a couple years since I've been, but it's cool. They have the chair lifts that go up the mountain on both sides. They have different like tourist attractions that are on both sides at the top of the mountain, which is, once again, it's fun, it's cool, but it's crowded. So I do suggest trying to go on an off season if you can. Maybe go when the kids are in school and people don't have their families all out there. This is one of the things I like about homeschooling my kids. We can go places where everybody else, when they're in school, we can just kind of go during the middle of the week, because we can do school in the hotel if we want to, or the cabin or whatever. Sometimes we get cabin up there, like nearby, but out in the middle of nowhere usually, and then we'll drive into the areas. That's how we do it, because that way you can get a hold of all the hiking places and whatnot. Now, my wife and I were married in Tennessee, so that's where we're married, in that general vicinity of all that. Dollywood is near there. Yep, Dollywood is near there. Which now Dollywood has been there and been a part of that whole area, like the Pigeon Forge area and stuff like that, for a long time. And it's Yeah, I mean, a long time. It's been a huge staple for. I remember when I was, I was young. I went up there, and there was billboards for Dollywood, and we never went, but yeah, and it is probably fun for the kids and stuff. A lot of stuff to do there, so I definitely recommend it. I just recommend trying to go, especially if you're older and you don't have children, or if you like us, maybe you're homeschooled or something like that, and you have a way of getting away from just when everybody else is tied up with work and school. That's when you should go, because you'll enjoy it, I think, a lot better. Yeah, and you'll get more of that small town feel. There's a place called I say Sevierville. Some people say Seaverville, but Sevierville, also not far from there. So they're all a hop and a skip from each other. There's a place called the Apple Barn. If you're ever there, you should go check that out. It's awesome. And so they have the apple orchard. Basically, they have everything made out of apples. I mean, it's just that you can imagine, and also good other food that you can eat there. But you can go tour certain parts, and that's pretty cool. So that's also fun to do. So fun things to do in now this is all Eastern Tennessee, the last 3 places we talked about, but a lot of fun stuff to do up there. And they have helicopter rides and stuff. My wife and I took a helicopter ride at one point, and that was awesome, actually. If you can take a helicopter ride through the mountains, it is amazing. It's a great way to see them, because you can go places where you can't drive and you're getting the bird's eye view. It's really awesome. I would suggest that if you can do it. But yeah, so I'm not a tour guide, but I could probably be a tour guide in Raleigh, just because I'm here all the time. I drive and I work and I drive around all the time here. So I could probably do some tour guiding around here. I may do some tour guiding on the YouTubes. There's a couple other places that I want to explore with you guys around Raleigh. Like we were saying, Henderson. I should probably go back up to Henderson too. We were talking about this yesterday. I think I can't remember who it was in the live, but we're talking about like money was and everything. I was like, yeah, but the only thing about it is like when you're doing YouTube and stuff. Like for me, I gotta work 6 to 7 days a week to just to provide and all that stuff. Not complaining, it's perfectly fine, but it is what it is, right? And so you gotta make time to do these things. So I am working diligently to try to make time to do more videos for you guys in cool places and stuff like that. And if we can get some freedom, from any of the side hustles or anything that I do, that's kind of what I can pour it into, and then you guys can get to see cool places around where I live. And if there's anything that is around this area you want to see, let me know and I'll go film it. And that would be fun. Other than going to Helen, Georgia, I don't know how you say that. 10 over to NC in March. I have no other trips planned. I'll probably head west so I can get some states I've never been to. That's awesome. Yeah, do it, man. Do it. Add them to the list. There's a lot of states I haven't been to too. I haven't been to Arizona. Did I go to Arizona? No, I haven't been to Arizona. I want to go there so bad. There's so many places there that I want to check out. And for most people, they're nothing places. People would be like, well, that's boring, but I want to go in the middle of nowhere. Like there's places in the middle of nowhere that I would like to check out. I'd also like to go to like Tombstone, simply because that's it's gonna sound silly, but that's like my favorite Western movie. And I just want to go to the town. I think that'd be really cool. But also I want to check out like the desert areas, and I want to check out those rocks, the rock formations and stuff like that. So there's a lot of places, and Arizona's not the only place I haven't been that I want to go. But let's see, it'll be awesome. Yeah. Well, it's gonna be awesome for you because you're gonna be doing some exploration videos too. So, but yeah, I do want to, like, I would love to, man, all those places like I'm talking about. I want to go. And if I can get one of those, maybe those little electric bikes or something where I can like kind of ride out into the desert a little bit and just kind of do some filming and stuff, I would love that, and I would do it. And I guess we just do it on this channel, really. The other channel is just like a talking channel, talking head type of thing. So I want to keep that's it's going to be what it is. So this is my everything channel. I do love German towns. A YouTube meetup. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've never done a YouTube meetup. I've never done that yet. I say yet like I'm gonna do it. I don't know if I would. I guess I would. I might would, depending on the people. Yeah, but I've never really thought about that. But that would be cool too. Definitely good to like. I guess you know these people, so it'd be like everybody here in the chat. If we met up, it would be kind of cool. We kind of wouldn't know each other, but we kind of know who each other are, and you know what I mean. Know a little bit about. We follow each other's, at least the lives that are on camera, to some degree, and they are fun. Yeah. So, do you do YouTube stuff when you do that, or you just hang out like just all in person and just don't do any posting that week, right? Like how does that work, or is it just like everybody posting like? You know what I mean? Like, I can imagine everybody's like filming and then like, hey, look who's here. You know what I mean? And just kind of hanging out, but maybe not. Maybe don't do YouTube. Just hang out in person, because it's good to meet people in person and just spend some time, get to know each other, eat some food. And for me, like going on walks and exploring places is fun. If people were to meet up around here, I would say we go downtown in Raleigh and go explore a little bit, because I took a tour, my wife and I, the other day, and lots of videos made and some live streams. Yeah. Well, I would, yeah, that'd be good. That'd be cool. Like just stay live streaming and just get in each other's streams and like hook up each other's, also the subscribers and stuff like that, so that people can meet each other on a broader scale and kind of grow that. But if I was here, I'd say that we should go downtown and probably explore, because there's a lot of old buildings. And I was gonna say, my wife and I went on this tour the other day, and in Raleigh, I mean, like, lived around here most of my life, you know, or at least not far. I've been in and out of the city, but we went on a historical tour, and I learned a lot of stuff I did not know, and so that was fun. And now I know all that stuff, and so I can do the tour now, kinda. You know what I mean? The person that did the tour was an archaeologist, so they're a historian and all this stuff. Way more knowledgeable than me, but I paid attention. And so I know where the houses are, and I know the history now behind it. And I learned certain things about certain architectures and stuff like that during the periods which they were put in. So now I know how to recognize it. I can see it. I see it now. When I see it, I recognize it. You know what I mean? So it's very interesting. Now they were focusing mostly on, I guess, like around 1800, well, around late 1700s to probably like late 1800s is kind of what they were focusing on historically. There's obviously a lot of history in the early 1900s here too, but yeah, I learned a lot about the city and things I didn't know, and that's cool. So yeah, now I've got the knowledge now, and so I could go do the videos on those spots if I wanted to, and share them with you guys. Not all of them are worth like a whole video, but it's interesting stuff. It's interesting to see cities are built up on top of other cities, or like, not, it's the same city, but it's transformed and everything's kind of built on top of things. You would have liked it. It was a trolley ride. So we rode in the trolley, and then we had the archaeologist up at the top, at the front, and she's like, you know, to your left, and then the trolley kind of stops. It's part of the city, so they have it all planned out where you can stop and really look. You could take pictures if you kind of wanted to. There's a windows glass in between, so it's not probably wouldn't be the best pictures. It's better to go back afterwards and then take pictures. That's what I'm gonna probably end up doing with some of it. Yeah, and like I said, I learned a couple spots. I don't want to make like videos at all the spots, but I learned some spots that I want to go back and investigate on foot, and that'll be fun. It was nice, Jesse. It was cool, man. It's cool that, like, if you live somewhere for so long, or close to somewhere for so long, and then you don't, you've never explored the history in this depth. It's really fun to just go back and almost be like a tourist in your own town kind of thing. And like I don't live here. I have lived here a couple of years. I lived here about 3 years at one point in time, and then I've just spent a lot of time because all the rural towns around Raleigh, like most of the people come in and work in Raleigh. So I've worked here, and then commuted back. I've done all that. So I've been in and around this town forever, and I've delivered pizzas here when I was younger. I Doordash here now, so I'm like all over the city. So you feel like you really know it, and then there's always this stuff you didn't know. You didn't know. You know what I mean? So it's great to learn that stuff. This kind of thing. Good homeschooling trips. Yeah. That would be good. Now, me and my wife did it as kind of a date because we're weird. We do that kind of stuff, and that's like. We went and did other stuff too, and like had dinner and stuff. But the grandparents had the children, so we were just like, man, we'll go out. We had planned it. She planned it as far as the trolley ride and some of the other stuff, and then we improvised a lot. I improvise. I like to improvise. We went and walked around the NC State campus and looked at some cool stuff there. And yeah, I'm the improvising guy, and she's the planner. So between the two of us, we always have something going on because she's going to plan something, so that's good. But then when that is done or whatever, I will always be able and willing to improvise. And so we'll go, we'll find ourselves at sometimes some crazy places. I try to keep it safe, but, definitely, nothing wrong with freestyling it, right? And then you never know what you're going to find. Yeah, it's kind of like driving. I used to do the same thing driving. And sometimes it's nice to just get in the car and go drive and try to get lost. It's impossible to really be lost nowadays. I have a really good sense of direction. That's why I like, delivering things and stuff. It's easy for me. Once I know the road, I know the road. But try to get lost and just see where you end up. And sometimes you find something really cool. You may find yourself in a small town you never even been, and then you go to some little pizzeria there and it's charming. You never know. Or it could be terrifying. Sometimes you find out you're in the wrong place and you need to get the heck out of there. So with improvising, you got to always be aware. But I do like improvising when I'm traveling or at least exploring and stuff. And you definitely want your security to be on point, but if it is, within reason, go ahead and explore. Go and get lost, yeah. And I've said it before, but we used to like to chase the sunset, and we'll probably do that again. I mean, I with the kids, we don't go out as much, but if we just load them all up in the, and then we could go chase the sunset. And like that also can take you places you never knew because you're just going that direction constantly as long as you can until the sun goes down. And it's fun, man. And yeah, that's what we do. So a lot of people, they want to go, I don't know what other people do. I don't know. Maybe go to a 5-star restaurant, or what do people do? Do they go buy things at the mall? Hiking. Yep. Yeah, we're very similar to how you guys were, and that's cool, man. Yeah, because I would rather go experience and explore. It's always better to experience and explore than just to go trade your money for stuff, or nice restaurants are good. It's cool sometimes, but it's like, dude, even just a decent restaurant, if they're serving steak, I'm happy with that. You know what I'm saying? That's awesome, and more than what I normally would do on a day-to-day basis, And so I'm cool with that. But if we can go and see the sunset, or go and explore and discover some new place that we've never been before, and create memories, because once you have memories, you're locked into those memories, and they can't be taken away from you, right? I guess unless you lose your memory, but you've got to try to just keep your wits about you, and you'll have those memories forever. And they're always like the times when the memories happen is frozen in time, and it's forever. And so, yeah, it's kind of that thing. It's like they can't take that away. So it's important to do those things. You know, trading money for stuff is only goes but so far. And it can have a negative impact too. You know, buying things, nice things, whatever. It's cool. I don't say this just because I'm like living on a budget right now or whatever. I'm saying it because it's true. Like the more stuff you have, the more stuff you want. And you can have really nice cars, but you know, the excitement of a car, I've had not nice cars, not like Ferraris and stuff like that kind of thing, but I've had at least one of my dream cars before in my life, and it's very cool. And when you don't have anybody in your life, like kids or whatever, or somebody you love, or like a wife or whatever, and when you're single, let's just say when you're young, it's definitely, it's awesome. It's the bee's knees. It's good to have a car that you always wanted, and I did during that time. But like right now, at this time in my life, it's not that important. If I got a nice car, it would be cool for a week. I'd probably do some videos. I'd probably drive it and go travel. And I do like cars, don't get me wrong, but I enjoy driving beater cars. I enjoy driving the old Pontiac. Even this car that I'm in right now, it's just pretty much the most plain car you can possibly imagine. It's like a Malibu, Chevy Malibu. But just the act of moving and driving and exploring is the part that I like the most, the freedom. Don't get me wrong. My hatchback, so I had an EG hatch, the B18C5. It's a Type R engine transmission combo. It's this amazing car. Like it was one of my dream cars, and I owned it. And drove it a lot, raced it, did all kinds of things, and I drove it every day too. It wasn't just like didn't just stay in a garage or something. I literally drove that car every day. I even delivered pizzas with it, like, you know what I mean? And I had different wheels and tires for different purposes, and I would just switch the wheels and tires, do some adjustments, and then go do whatever the purpose was. And so like I like basically did everything in that car. But you know, cars at the end of the day, just a car, and you create memories with that too. But it's good to create memories with people. All right, so I went off on a tangent there. But yeah, Monday Midday Live. I'm glad you guys are here. Appreciate you guys spending your time with me. That means a lot. It helps the channel a lot too, obviously, because I need to keep my hours up, and I need to keep, you know, keep channel alive. So that's what I'm doing for when I do get a chance to go make some good videos. I'm thinking about making some cool stuff, and with some music and stuff again too in it. Like the YouTube music leaves some to be desired, but even just that, I really like playing around with the music in the videos. Like if you look at some of my videos, like from probably last year mostly, either at the end or in the middle, I do like to kind of put music in them and stuff. And the other channel, the Real Thoughts Project, all I do is talk over there. No place for music there. It's just, you know, one takes. And so this is my more creative channel. That's like creative with the mind. This is like can be over here. I can be creative with visuals, and you know, I like to do car shows and put them to music. And I think the music has a lot to do with it. Sometimes I'm putting music over the car shows because they have music at the car show, and I don't want it to be just silent, but I can't play the music because of copyright reasons. But at the same time, I try to be as creative as possible with what I have. And you go check out Kevin's music, see what he's got cooking over there. I know some people have used it. It sounds pretty cool. So if I could expand my music catalog that I can use for some of the videos, I'd really like to do that, because I'm kind of feeling that way. I'm kind of feeling creative here recently, and I just haven't had time to do some of the videos to get creative with. But I got some ideas. I think I mentioned it yesterday, but there's a car museum close to me here that I did not know exists, and I don't know if you're allowed to film in there, but I'm gonna call them soon and ask them that question. And if you're allowed to film, I'll be doing a video over there. They have a lot of movie cars and historical cars and classic stuff. So I kind of want to get back into doing some of that stuff too. I will always mix cars back into this channel, no matter how far we go. Ultimately, I would like to kind of do what Dan's doing and go and travel and do videos traveling. Kind of like some of my exploring videos, but maybe in really like cooler places. And if time, allows it. And when you have children, you got to take care of children. That's the biggest priority. And so, but if I can mix some stuff up where we can all go on a trip, and then we can do some exploring videos and stuff like that, I will do it. And the kids are getting older, so they're more able to travel. And I will try to continue doing that. Yeah, some of the places around here are cool, and also I want it to be hopefully a reminder too to some people that like where you live is probably cooler than you might think. A lot of people. So when I was growing up in the area where I was growing up, which is not far from here, there was a lot of individuals who just wanted to get out of here, because it was a small town area. We were close to Raleigh, but Raleigh wasn't even it's not a big city, but it's not the city that it is today. And I remember so many people saying, I just want to grow up and get out of here. I want to move. I want to go to somewhere cool. Right. And I remember, and I was younger, like I was really young, but I remember saying one day everybody's going to be wanting to move here because we've got everything. We're close to the mountains. We're close to the beach. But we're not either. We don't have the inconveniences of either, right? So we're able to withstand hurricanes a little better, and we don't have, when we get snowed in, it's only for a couple of days. So, we have the benefit of that. Raleigh is a decent little city near Durham. Durham is a well-known city. A lot of people know about Durham. Duke is right there. There's so much in the area, and I remember as being young person, it's like maybe 8, 10, 9, 10 years old, thinking, and I would tell these people, older people, but I would say, hey, Ren, how you doing? Welcome to the house. I would say that people are going to want to move here. It's funny you guys want to get out of here like you're escaping, but people are going to want to move here soon, one day, because there was not a lot of movies here. Bull Durham is one movie that was set here. There was some movies down towards the coast or TV shows that were down towards the coast in the state here, but not exactly in this area. But there wasn't a lot of stuff. But now, I am talking about NC, specifically kind of like Raleigh and the surrounding area. And but now everybody wants to move here. The downtown life is getting a little bit more live. The all that stuff. Durham is becoming more recognized or whatever. They're changing Durham a lot. Now, some people call that gentrification, but some of it is like, I don't know, they're shoving certain parts of Durham into a box, and then they're making this other new thing. Whatever people think about it, there's a lot of people moving into the area. So this is something that has happened, and I knew it was going to happen, man. I knew it as a kid. I was like, dude, this place is like too good, and I don't like it. I wish people would stop moving because it was awesome the way it was, but everything has changed. Life always changes, and that's life. That's how it goes. And as a young kid or whatever, you think that everything's. I don't know. I don't think you feel like change is happening as rapidly as it is. I mean, you are changing as a person, but I think you feel like, at least back then, things feel like more stable, I guess you could say, or like, yeah, I don't know. But then you live enough lives or enough years, and you start to realize that everything changes, and change is the constant. Change is the thing that happens. You know what I mean? And so once you realize that, it's not so bad when yeah, I wish the traffic wasn't so bad. It was nice to be able to have the roads to yourself a little bit more. But this is life, right? And for a lot of people moving into one area, they've got to be moving away from other areas. So those areas are now going to become more affordable. They might become run down, actually. But they're going to probably eventually, you're going to be able to go and buy land in those places too. So everything will even out. How are you doing today, Ren? Hope you're doing well. I saw that that camp that you went to. I don't know if it's called a camp or whatever, but it looked fun. wasn't really a festival. It was kind of a festival-esque, though. It was like with the where you were teaching and stuff. That was cool. It looked like a lot of fun. That's the kind of thing I would have done probably 15 years ago, I guess. Not anymore, but festival-esque, yeah, for sure. But it looked fun. Yeah, I used to be into that kind of stuff a little bit more. So I've kids now and stuff, so I'm not as wild as I used to be, but I did used to have a lot of fun. Kevin, how you doing? Welcome to the house, man. Thank you for catching the live. Yeah, Monday midday live. I'm probably gonna start doing this a little bit more regularly because it kind of works with my schedule. So I figured I would I've done it not the last week, but I think the 2 weeks before that I did it, and so I'm trying to keep up with it. Heading to South Carolina in a couple months. It's very interesting what you're talking about. The moving patterns. Yeah. So, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. I have no Reddit presence, so anybody that comes from Reddit will be absolutely new to me. Yeah. So the moving patterns, it is very interesting because people come from somewhere. So a lot of the people that come from here in Raleigh, I've noticed, are from up north. Some people come from California. There's always been a connection between North Carolina and Florida for whatever reason. People move from one state or another to the other. And but anytime you have a booming population or growth in an area, I mean, I thought about it. I was like, dude, well, they have to be coming from somewhere, and so the population is going down in that area. And I don't know what that means, but it's something to think about, right? Maybe maybe it will become more affordable in those areas. I think a lot of places in the north, for example, are very unaffordable, I guess you could say. Or I know that people came from New York and they would own like a $3 million house or something, for example, and they would move down here, and this is not the case as much anymore, but they could buy that same house for $500,000 or $750,000, around Raleigh somewhere. Now that's not the case anymore, because now the price is starting to go up. It's going up here, and it's I guess it's even out, but yeah, I wonder if it happens in that the prices are now going to be going down up there, or if they're just going to continue to climb. I don't know. I don't really. I'm not in real estate, so I don't know. But everything has a reaction somewhere. All right, upcoming video about where I grew up in downtown has pretty much died. Yeah, a lot of places are like that, and it's all connected. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, a lot of places are like that, Dan. Now, surprisingly, the little small town that I'm from has not died, but I think it is because this Research Triangle Park stuff, that Durham, Raleigh, Chapel Hill, there's a lot of people that have moved in. And so some of the rural areas, as you go out north, if you go out south, east and west, have just got a lot of housing developments and stuff built up. As a result, they have a lot of, little restaurants pop up, and it just kind of businesses start to flourish in those locations. So you have this, I guess it's called the urban sprawl, right? And so that happens. So that's happening. We're in a phase of that here. But I think about it, I'm like, maybe it's in a contraction phase somewhere else, and a lot of it is, there's a lot of towns like that. So Henderson is kind of like that. Now, they're not completely dead, but you can see that there was a whole nother life there during the time when the textile industry was really booming there. You could see, when you go look around, when you're there, just take a look at all the old buildings and stuff that were involved in that. And it's like a ghost. It's like a ghost. It's a ghost town. Now there's a town there now that's kind of, I don't want to say thriving, but it's doing well, and it's not dead. It's not like completely dead, but there are dead towns. I may actually go and explore some of those, because within 100-mile radius of here, there's a few places that are, there's a crossroad, old country store that used to be there, maybe a church, some other stuff that probably was once there. When you go out east from here towards the coast, there's a few towns you have to drive through if you go the back way, which I like to go, that are like that. And I'm like, dude, how do people even live out here? And there's some people that still do live, but I'm like, well, where do you work? I wonder, and I just think about it. And then I also think there's a part of me that's like, man, I'd love to buy some of this property out in the middle of nowhere. But then I'm like, well, what would I do? I guess I would have to work online and stuff, which is fine. I buy and sell things, so I'd have to maybe travel a little bit more to find everything. But yeah, I'm curious about that. It's like, I wonder if I could just buy some of this land out here. And some people do, they buy like entire towns. Would have stayed, had to go where the employment was. Yeah. Grew up in a railroad town. So one of my granddads used to work on the railroad. That's what he did. He was a railroad worker. So reselling your main gig. I don't know if it's my main gig. It's the thing that I probably make the most with the least input. But I Doordash like every day to make sure that I have just a pretty fairly steady amount of income coming in. And then and eBay every day too. Like every morning I do that. And then like it's Monday today. So there's a bin store in my area. There's $1 items. And so I go there and then I go to thrift shops and stuff like that too. I have a few other places, but yeah, I have kind of a schedule with it. I make it all work as a system. So maybe it's not the smartest thing in the world, but I had to restart my 30s, guy. I had to restart my 30s from nothing. So, and I don't have a college degree or anything, but I don't have a college debt. So there's that. You know what I mean? When I was younger, I did do some community college and stuff like for a little short time. And then, I definitely wasn't going to do the university because I didn't want to get into a large amount of debt. And even that, I was like, nah, I don't want to do this right now. And I kind of went and did some stuff kind of like, the stuff you were doing the other day. Like, I mean, that world a little bit more. And so I kind of just did that for a long time. And then, and then I basically had to kind of restart my 30s. So I'm building all of these systems now, like in real time. But the eBay has saved my bacon like multiple times. It's a good thing that I have it because it's got the ability to really pay some bills. It really does. And I think I'm kind of good at it, I guess. I don't know, maybe. I do, hold on. So I'm trying to read the chat here. I do some of it on the side. It's a fun and cool way to make money. Yeah, absolutely. It is a good way to make money if you're into it. Now I have take space. I have a whole room in my house and it's the eBay room. You know what I mean? So I have like bins stacked up. And I got a little desk for the computer and everything. And I have my shipping supplies and I have everything that's not listed on one side of the room and the bins of everything that's listed on the other side of the room in a fairly organized. I'm not the most organized person in the world, but I know everything's it works. It's a system. And yeah, it's a system, And once you kind of build it, it's just a matter of finding inventory and staying up on. And every day I ship, except for Sunday, because post office isn't open on Sunday. So I ship every day in the morning, and I take my packages out about 12 o'clock, usually. And then I go DoorDash for the rest of the day, or depending on the day, if I have sourcing to do. So I go to an area where I'm going to be sourcing. And then even then, cool thing is I grab my items. I don't just go straight home and list them. I like DoorDash for the rest of the day. Then I list them that next morning in the eBay time. So I kind of have a little bit of a system, The funny thing is, it's like I don't have a regular job, but I end up working 60, 70 hours a week anyway. It doesn't feel like clocking in for 60, 70 hours. I enjoy all of it. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like sometimes I think, you can just go get a regular job, probably, just get paid as much. It'd just be simpler. But I like throwing things together, and I always have. It's not for everybody. It is not for everybody. There was a wave of like where everybody wanted to be a hustler and all this stuff. Everybody wanted to just, not work a regular job, 9 to 5 and all this stuff. And that became cool for a few years. Now I've always kind of lived that way, but I have had jobs. I built countertops for a while, and Yeah, I worked in a warehouse for a while. I have had jobs, real jobs, but yeah, I like putting it together, and it's for a specific group of people that can do that. It's not for everybody. So a lot of people get in it and they're over their head because they realize you got to really get after it, because if you don't, nobody's come to save you. You know what I mean? Planting lots of seeds, so many seeds. Yeah, I am. Yes, I am. I am planting a lot of seeds, actually, and I have been for a while. And I've been able to see some of them grow, which is really cool. I'm starting to be able to see some of them grow. Maybe one day, when more of them grow, I can, help other people plant seeds as well. So, but you do have to plant. You have to plant seeds if you want the produce, right? That's life. Yeah. So even something like a YouTube channel. You start that, you're gonna learn so much. You're gonna meet people. You're gonna learn about yourself. You're gonna learn what you speak like and how you talk. And I would have thought that I was a better speaker than I was. Then you know what I mean. And you find that out with YouTube, and then you start to improve. And that's you can only do that through doing and through starting and actually making things happen, right? You can read all the books in the world and you can make all the plans in the world, but unless you actually do those plans or start those things, and you're going to fail is one of the things about it. Like, so you're going to fail a lot, and as that happens, you're going to learn. That's how you learn. Now, it's probably better for somebody to do it in their 20s, which I failed a lot in my 20s too. I've always had like some kind of side hustle. Back in the day, I used to buy things on eBay and sell them in person. So actually, when I was a teenager, well, young teenager, maybe even like 10, 11, 12, I used my mom's account. I would buy things on eBay, little pocket knives and stuff, and you could get them by the hundreds. Because back then, not everybody was buying stuff on eBay. And what I would do was I would buy them, and then I would just sell them in person to my friends. That's probably not right to sell knives to people. I mean, I don't know, whatever, you get the idea. To my adult friends, to my friends who are older at 18, you would sell knives to them. But now I buy things in person and sell on eBay. So it's just reversed. Buying on eBay and selling in person. Wow, I can't imagine trying that. Yeah, no, it's wild. I mean, it was different. It was a different time. So that was a time not everybody was buying things online. I'm in my 30s, so yeah, millennial, whatever. When I was really young, we were still in the phase where you could go down to the store and you would probably get a good deal on things, right, at the store. And so everybody wasn't buying on Amazon and Walmart.com and things like that. That just wasn't happening. And, some of the stuff from China and other places or whatever wasn't in the stores at all. And yeah, it was kind of a little small window of time when, you could buy things online, sell them in person, and make money. But now it's to get the amount of traffic you want. It's kind of like YouTube, right? YouTube has this platform. We make our videos, and the algorithm does the rest of the work, connecting us all. But if you try to do that in person, it's going to take forever. You're just not going to get the amount of the volume you need really to sustain. And so that's why eBay is such a great platform. I would love to have my own website and just sell from there. Just do LLC and just do a website and do it like that. But where are you going to get traffic for the website? You know what I mean? You're going to have to buy Google ads. Who's going to go there? That random person that wants a 1979 GE wood grain clock radio, which is an item that I sell quite a few of. But, I find them whenever I find them, I buy them, and I refurbish them, I sell them. But like I said, there's a specific person that wants that. They're not going to be probably not in your town, and they're online. They're on eBay, So eBay does all the work for that, and it keeps my overhead low. But you have, that's what the big eBay fees are for, and it's the only way I can justify it, because eBay fees are definitely way more than they used to be, and the only way I can justify actually selling on eBay is, those fees keep my other overhead low. I get to do everything at home. My storage is in the house, in a room, and I can use my phone and a Chromebook to do pretty much everything, and a printer, right? So yeah, I just have to buy the stuff and do that. But those numbers, that's easy. That's the easy part for me. You're still young. More changes will occur that make you have to revamp what you do. Absolutely. So even selling on eBay, this is interesting, right? I don't know if it's going to be around and like it is forever. I've seen the fees creep up over the years to the point where it is really, a lot of people stop selling, and then what they'll do is they'll sell everything to somebody like me who'll come and get it and continue it on. But some people are just like, I'm done with it already. And there may be regulations on selling in the future. You know, I'm a freedom loving person. So that's what my whole second channel, Thoughts, Real Thoughts Project, is about. Well, it's about more than that, but we talk about freedom. It's important. And one of the things is freedom to sell. There's a woman on YouTube I've become friends with or whatever, and she's over in Europe or whatever, but she grew up and her mother grew up in the Soviet Union, and they grew up in a situation, and a lot of, you know, the things that we take for granted they could not do. One of those things was buying and reselling things, and she had a boyfriend that actually went to prison for selling things. You know, not like selling, you know, illicit things or whatever, just selling things, having something, owning it, and saying, you know, you give me the money, I'll give you the thing, right? eBay basically, right? So we take a lot of things for granted, but, you know, I kind of don't. I try not to take everything for granted, because you never know. And that's also how important freedom is. And freedom to travel, like Dan, the way we love to travel, they couldn't do that. They couldn't go outside of their country. Countries are a lot smaller over there. You take a train, you go through, you know, several countries. They couldn't do that at certain times in their life. And so this person has dedicated their life to being free and traveling and things like that, and helping other people to be free. But yeah, I try not to take anything for granted. Let's see here. Good old clock radios. Yes. So the wood grain GEs, I hate to say this because now you guys aren't in my area. I buy every single one I see because they're great. There's a market for them. There's people that like them. And also, I personally use one. It's my favorite clock radio. It's the one with the red numbers and letters. And, well, it doesn't have no letters. It has numbers, the red numbers. And I guess it has red letters too, AM, FM. Anyway, whatever. And it's got a single speaker, and the radio itself has the best reception. You can't buy a radio in Walmart right now that has better reception than that radio. Once you get everything set up and you turn the dial, you know, you kind of find yourself on the channel, like solid reception. You know how, you know, when you're dialing the dial to try to get the channels on the radio, sometimes it's not that good. But those GEs, they dial in so good, dude. It just lands right on that radio station, and it's perfect. And yeah, I don't know. They're the best radios, dude. And they almost every single one I've ever found still works. Occasionally you get one with a busted speaker, but that's actually rare. Usually all I have to do is just clean up. They have these slits in the grill, so the dust gets in there, and I have a specific way that I clean it. And yeah, and then they get scratches and stuff. But other than that, it's the best radio ever built. Wait, what is my other channel called? I'm not sure I've seen it before. So my other channel is called Real Thoughts Project. And it's just me sitting in the car most of the time, just talking. One takes, kind of like talking about different things. Yeah, so that's what that is. And so we talk about a lot of stuff. Sometimes I've got 10 videos up over there right now. 10 videos. I'll probably start doing live streams as soon as I get, I think, 50 subscribers. You can do it. I have about 47 or 46, somewhere along there. 45, 46, 47. And it's been about a month old. It's only about a month old. But that's, you know, I'm going to go a little deeper into certain topics that I don't really want to get to on here. And, you know, not everybody's going to agree with everything, and that's kind of part of it. But it's a food for thought. It's a food for thought channel, and it's a way for me to go through my thoughts a little bit and just kind of talk things out. And, you know, it's a one take. So when I've got a topic I'm going to talk about, and I just turn the camera on and go and talk for 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever. And I learn a lot from it too, because then sometimes I think about what I thought about and what I said and I might be missing some things, right? And so it makes me go back and think deeper about that topic. And a couple times I've actually ended up like reading a couple books and doing a bunch of research because of it, and looking at a bunch of debates and things like, was I right about that? Like, so anyway, it's a food for thought channel, and it's for free thinkers. It's for people who are not offended easily, and just to think outside of the box a little bit. Yeah, it's not like political or anything like that, but I will probably talk about from time to time how both political parties are a facade or whatever. It kind of, to some degree, there's good and bad from like things from both or whatever, but for the most part, yeah, I've gotten to the point where, as far as politics, it's not my favorite, subject as far as the people, because I don't believe a politician is going to come and save you. I think nobody's coming to save you necessarily. It's more important what you do with your personal, like your life, and what you do with what you have, right? So, and how freedom is important. And we'll probably go through some studies. I have a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about, but I can't do it all at once, and I'm not trying to put the videos out so fast that nobody gets a chance to watch them. We'll probably do some studies on some different philosophers and some different governments and things like that. I'll probably do some studies in how like freedom was lost in certain places. And there's in school we don't really learn a whole lot about communist China. We don't learn a lot about Soviet Union, things like that. There's subtleties that we don't really get because they glaze right over that stuff. And there was human experiences behind all that stuff. You know what I mean? And failures or whatever, and things that just the way things come about. Sometimes people don't think it's going to happen, and maybe it does. And even, if you look at Germany, right, in the middle of the last century, everybody knows that, right? And get first middle half, whatever, but all of those things, and nothing like that is ever going to happen exactly the same way again. But there are consistencies throughout, and on both left and right regimes. They always end up being about the same when it comes to tyranny, when it comes to taking people's freedom away, right? And so we'll probably look at some of that, but also but at the same time, trying to keep it upbeat. It's not a doomer channel, so we want to stay upbeat and kind of give you tools, I guess, and inspiration to find ways to strengthen and fortify your own freedom, your own knowledge, be honorable. Okay, like school is not honorable now. School education, just for example, and it's a bunch of nonsense in a lot of cases. And I guess I could get in trouble for saying that, but it's true. And they're just the way they teach, right? There's a lot of different agendas, and it depends on who your teacher is and all this stuff. So you're gonna have to learn how to educate yourself, and I'm a big fan of that. So I'm a fan of people that do that. And so hopefully that channel will find some people who are also interested in that. And we'll probably read from some books, and maybe we'll just talk about some things, maybe some current event things. Pretty much can go anywhere with that channel, but that's the channel. That's the second channel. So the topics are a little heavy for this channel, just saying. So that's probably why I will just, it's going to be its own thing over there. You know what I mean? If people want to get mad at me over there, and that's fine. And we'll just keep this a little bit lighter. This is my everything channel. I want to travel. I want to explore. This is the inaction of that freedom. That, it's all connected, and I can't disconnect it. But I can do different videos on different channels, because there are people that may want to watch a travel video that may not want to learn or explore some of the heavy ideas and concepts that we're going to explore over there. And so it's just fine, and you can subscribe to both if you want, or subscribe to one if you don't want to deal with the other, but and it's fine like that. So that's why I did it that way, so I don't have to do all that over here. and we'll just keep the ball rolling here. I'm building this. I haven't done as many videos as I should lately, but then again, I've been making a video almost every 3 days for the other channel. So for right now, it's young, and so I'm trying to build that. But yeah, we'll see where it goes. It's nice to have that free from like this monetized channel and stuff, and I can just kind of go wherever we want to go there, or wherever we feel we need to go there. But it definitely has a mission. And so all the things that I've learned over here about videos and YouTube and stuff, I'm trying to apply over there. But it's a much more simpler platform. You know what I mean? I don't do fancy thumbnails, at least right now I don't. I haven't done any shorts over there. It's all long form. It's for people with a long attention span. And to help build my thought process as well. Because I'm going to be wrong about a lot of stuff. And yeah, so anyway, it allows me to be wrong, and then I will always come back and say, hey, you know, I wasn't right. I was wrong about that. You know, I think I might have been wrong about that. So we'll rethink it. And then we'll be able to do live streams, and then we'll be able to talk about all those things too and get in depth on them. So I welcome you there. I welcome you there. Fever Dream, how you doing? You found the live. Yeah, that other spot was no bueno. We didn't have any service over there, and everything was just cutting out. Yeah, so I just found a better spot, and hopefully the sound's good. By the way, guys, how's the sound? Because I'm experimenting with a different microphone. So let me know how the sound is in the chat, if you don't mind, if you're here and you weren't here in the beginning of the video. So I'm trying to also improve those things, right, for you guys. But anyway, yeah, Fever Dream Animation, what's up? Dan, yeah, it's nice that when you could do traveling videos and make several videos at once. No doubt. I was telling my wife, I was like, dude, if I can only get one day to go out, even if it's nearby here, I can probably hit like 4 or 5 different spots. And that would be 4 or 5 different videos technically, because I don't want to get you guys involved in having to watch like an hour at a time and we go 5, 6 different places. Maybe you watch the first 20 minutes, but then you miss the one in the middle. So I'm not trying to like make more like money or something by doing more videos, but breaking them up helps people to really watch what they want to watch. And also, if you have time today to watch one video, then you can watch that. And then if you have time the next day to watch another one and you're interested, then you can do that. And then sometimes certain places maybe people search for online, and maybe that's all they want to see. They don't want to see all the other stuff. So yeah, I'm a fan of breaking it up, and it's nothing about making like more videos or anything like that. It's literally like what you said, you know, it's about, you can do it all in a day, and then you can provide that extra content for people, and then they can digest it on their own, in their own ability to watch the videos, right? Sounds fine. Great. That's good. So the video I did yesterday, was it yesterday I was live? Monday, Sunday. Yeah, I guess I was live yesterday on this very phone. If you go watch that live, you'll see, I think there's a big difference. I think we'll find there's a big difference in the sound. The audio on the phone itself with no microphone was just terrible. So I'm trying different ones. I got this one and I got this one for $5 today, because when I go looking for stuff, I end up finding it. They end up like falling down and hit me on the head. So yesterday, I was looking for a microphone. I ordered one on Amazon, got here. That's what we're using. And then I found these at the bin store for $5. So that's another wireless mic for those of you who weren't here earlier. So now I've got multiple mics to make videos and play around with. So it's cool. Guys, I appreciate you being here and being the, it's kind of like, well, I guess I'm the guinea pig, really. So you guys get to watch the train wreck or the experiment, however it turns out. But a lot of things we're doing on this channel are experimenting. And I will probably put this into use on other channels and other things and projects in the future, but also this very channel will get better as a result of these experiments, right? So I'm just trying to learn how to maximize and use what I got, because I'm kind of dumb when it comes to technology. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, but I'm younger, like I'm like, you know, I'm in my 30s, I'm a millennial, but I'm not a techie. I like tech, I like using it sometimes, but yeah, I'm not a genius with it, man. So I'm a little slow. I got to figure it all out. So yeah, that's what this is all about. We're doing experiment live today. That's but it is also the Monday midday live, and I think I'll probably try to keep this a thing as much as possible, as long as I can find service wherever I'm at. We'll do it. I need to go and start making dinner. We'll leave you running and listen. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate you being here. Enjoy your dinner. What's for dinner? What are we making for dinner tonight? Man, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. I haven't had food yet, so I don't really eat breakfast. Yeah, no, it's weird. It's like 4 something. Because I went to the bin store, I haven't eaten yet today. I had a protein shake, and I had some like essential amino acids, but that's not technically food, is it? Did I have any breakfast? I actually think I had like some cereal. I don't usually eat cereal, but I think I actually did. But since then, I have not eaten. So after the live, I'm going to go eat. I'm going to go get something, and then I'm going to Doordash around. But yeah, have fun making food, and have a great evening. I appreciate you being here. It's awesome hanging out as always, and it's great to have somebody who's a I want to say fellow traveler, but that sounds secret society-esque. So somebody who likes traveling to be here with us. That's always cool, man, because I really like traveling too. I just don't get to do a lot of much right now, but that's okay. I will in the future. We'll get there. Oh yes, we'll get there. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been a fun live stream. I will probably do this more often. I got some video ideas that I'm gonna do. Now I'm gonna be reverting. I'm gonna be doing a little bit of car stuff, I think, with my cars. There's gonna be separate, like, kind of side videos, guys. It's not the only thing I do, but sometimes those car videos really help carry my channel, because there's like a demand for them. You know what I mean? Like some of the, not really how-tos, but kind of like how-tos. And there's some stuff that I need to do on a couple cars, so I may make videos with those. So just coming up, and that's not going to be traveling, exploring, or anything like that. It'll probably be some car stuff, but I do plan on doing some videos like that. So you'll probably see that. It's not necessarily going to be very soon, but I have a few of those in the works. And then I have we got the car museum. I got to call the car museum, see if they'll let me film. If they do, definitely want to do that. Just got to find a day to do it. There's a couple places downtown Raleigh that I'm planning on filming, so we'll do that. And there's some tunnels. There's some underground tunnels that we want to visit too. So guys, if you want me to explore some tunnels, it's in the works. It is getting towards, obviously it's like fall here, whatever. So a lot of the overgrowth and a lot of the the bugs and snakes and all that stuff are going to be a little less of a problem here in about a month or two. I do a lot of exploring in the wintertime sometimes because of that. If you got places where there's brush and it's like hard to get to and a lot of overgrown areas, if you just wait till the winter, sometimes it's a little bit easier to get in those locations, and I may actually do that. Not that I wouldn't do it anyway, but I haven't had time, so it's going to end up working out that way probably. But I do want to do that. So I want to go to the zombie tunnel. It's called the zombie tunnel. We'll see. I've never been there, so we'll explore it for the first time with you guys. But it's basically a waterway from one side to another, and it's underground, but you can walk it. And so I plan on doing that. I think that'll be cool. And I plan on doing there's like 2 other tunnels. I was looking through yesterday. You guys were with me. Whoever was with me yesterday, we were looking through. I have a list of places that I want to go. So I forgot there was so many tunnels, but looks like we're gonna probably this winter is gonna be like the underground winter. So we'll be doing that. See what else. I'll probably do some Doordash videos, talking about different aspects. There's just more stuff I can talk about that. I think there's value I can add to that. So bear with me on that, guys, too, if you're not necessarily here for Doordash stuff. I'm not turning into a Doordash channel, but sometimes there's some value that I have to offer. I've done over 13,000 Doordash deliveries. I've had it pay my bills at times, all my bills. So I know a little bit about Doordash, the ups and the downs. And I'm going to be completely honest about it. And so I'll probably make some videos there. having to do with that. So the car stuff, the DoorDash stuff, the exploring stuff. And that's why my channel probably doesn't have 10,000 subscribers, yet, dude, because it's all over the place and I'm doing all kinds of stuff. But it's fun, and that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? As long as you got, and I appreciate you guys sticking with me through that. That's amazing. Couldn't do it without you. And so anyway, let me check and see if anybody's talking about anything, because I am getting hungry. Get off of here. But if you guys are interested, I may be doing this live maybe every Monday. So we'll do this. It'll just be a hangout Monday live. It was the hustle hangout, and it still kind of is. I usually have a better haul, but I only got 4 items at the bin store. Guys, it was dead today. There was nothing at the bin store. I showed it earlier, but the coolest thing, I found this for $5, so I have another microphone to test out. That'll be fun. I'll probably do some videos, like maybe not on you. I may not publish them, but I'll do some for me. Just testing them both. But these are probably the best item today. Are these bushings for a golf cart? And yeah, so I had to put these on before I saw them. I was like, those are golf cart bushings. They're only $1. So that could save somebody some money. Hopefully, I probably won't sell them. Somebody in my area, if they have a golf cart that needs bushings, I'll just give them that, right? So that'll be, I'll stockpile those. Sometimes I do. I don't really collect things. I take the Tekken Sport motto of collect dollars, not things. But for automotive stuff, hardware, that means like fasteners, screws, nuts, bolts, things like that, and tools, I will buy those and put them back because they'll end up getting used. Gloves, last year I got a bunch of gloves, and so I'll end up being able to give, already been able to give those to some people, and it's going to get cold, winter's coming, so they'll be able to use those gloves. And then things like this, put them back. I'm sure it won't be long before I end up hanging out with somebody that's got a golf cart. And if I hear that sound in the back, like I know, the suspension's messed up or whatever, I'll just, here you go. So that's the benefits of going to the bin stores and the thrift stores and stuff too. 90% of everything gets sold, 95%, but occasionally I do stuff like that. And then I have now like 3 different mics. So this is the other mic. This is what we're using, but I have it up here. It's got the dead cat on it and everything. You need garden gloves. I'm set with winter. Yeah, that's what I've got is winter gloves. I'd send them to you, but they're like winter. They're camo. They're not top quality. They're kind of like Thinsulate style gloves, but they're just like a knockoff. But for some people, they'll be able to use that. And if they have a couple pairs with you to use them, and then dry them off or whatever they need. If you don't have a pair of gloves, you're not going to care that it's not necessarily the Thinsulate brand. So that's my thinking on it. And then so I gave them to a bunch of family members, but I still have some. Your hands are bigger, yeah, so you can't use. So you need some garden gloves. I don't have any of those, but if I had them, I'd send them to you, man. But if I come across any, I'll let you know. I'll definitely let you know if I come across any. Chicken, which is in the oven, so I'm back for a little. Awesome, cool. Well, we were talking about the tunnels. I don't know if you missed the tunnels, but I guess I was looking at my list of places to go when I have time. And there's some tunnels in this area, so we're going to check those out. So I'll have some tunnel videos coming. But probably not within the next week or two. I've got a trip that I've got to do in the next week or two. So this month I've got a trip going, and then I'm going to be working pretty much as I can around that trip. I'll be doing other videos, of course, around, but these particular videos where I have to actually go to a location out of my way, probably won't be doing as much. So these live streams are helping keep the channel alive too. So I appreciate everybody being here. That's super awesome, super helpful. I appreciate all the likes, all the comments, and all the views and everything. It means the world to me. It keeps my channel alive, keeps the dream alive. And yeah, so because one day when I have more time, man, we're going to travel more and do that. And just like my exploration videos. And now I'm learning. I'm working on the equipment and stuff Now, this is a phone. I like my GoPro, and what I really wish is if I could get a better microphone for the GoPro. And if anybody knows anything about that, let me know. But as far as I know, I have to use the medium mod, which is a little bulky. And since I have to swap batteries so much, it's kind of annoying. You have to take that thing off. And then, but you could use an external mic with that, but you need the adapter. GoPro is crazy. Everything is proprietary. That's what I hate about it, man. It's a good camera. It has really good video quality. The audio quality, I don't like. Yeah, and I guess I'm that stage with making videos where I'm starting to like I'm wanting to improve the audio quality. Sometimes I feel a little weird because I see, the kids now, they start making the video with the best microphones and the best cameras, and I'm like, dang, that's polished, dude. That's, man. I just started out with phones, and then the GoPro eventually, but yeah. So I'm trying to build the quality up a little bit. It didn't have to be perfect. I'm still okay with being gritty because it's reality, especially when we go explore. It's going to be, yeah, it's just reality, right? All right, so let's see, hands are bigger. So we need to get Dan some garden gloves. Good things to come. Yeah, hopefully so. I don't really like talking about plans, but I have plans that are bigger than these that I'm not talking about. I'm not going to talk about. Sometimes it's not good to talk about all your plans. I've learned that. But that's all little stuff. The stuff I was telling you about, like the tunnels, that's on the list, dude. It's going to get done. You know what I mean? If I live long enough, that's not a given. I know that. But it will, all other things being equal, let's just say, then those are the type of things that we're going to be doing in the future. But the little talking head videos for the YouTube, or for the talking about the Doordash and talking about eBay and stuff like that, that's just stuff that I have experience with that I think that can be helpful to other people. There's a lot of people that are like, oh, I can quit your job and do this and that. In my last video about Doordash, I wanted to be very clear with people, like, you may not want to just do that as a job because it's a lot. And if you only have one car and you're making payments on the car, and then the car breaks down and you don't know how to work on it, it's expensive to find people to work on your car. I do a lot of work myself, and it keeps my costs down. And if I had to pay for all of that work, it would just be mind-boggling how much money that would be sometimes. I don't have to pay when the brakes go. I don't have to pay when the alternator goes. You know what I mean? I have AAA, which everybody should have. If you're door dashing, you should have AAA. And you get what I'm saying? So there's things about it. It's not for everybody. And I don't mind sharing that and saying that. It's a good thing. Like, they're good. Gig apps can be good, but at the end of the day, they are another hamster wheel, just like anything else. And you got to be careful. And so I want to see people succeed and do well, not just jump on these things and fall. It's like people telling people to quit your job and do YouTube, right? Just because they got a viral video. And it's like, well, dude, not everybody's good. As we know, some, like a lot of you are creators in here. Yeah, not everybody gonna always get a viral video, and then you might get one and you can't recreate it. And so it's going to give you a false sense of, oh, I'm in the big time now or whatever, and I don't have to work. I don't have to do that. No, dude, you need to have a good plan, a solid plan, anything along those lines, instead of, and then this way you can continually and steadily build the things that you're building, and without falling off a cliff, But yeah, that's a big thing. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos about that in the DoorDash and the YouTube niche, which I'm, I guess, part of both, about quitting your job, and doing YouTube and stuff. And it's like, and it's, how many, don't listen to those people necessarily, right? Yeah, chase your dreams. Yeah, dude, do that. But you need to make sure, like, we're living in times with high inflation. Just be realistic. It's high inflation. The food is expensive and everything, and you got to pay your bills. So make sure you're taking care of yourself while you're chasing your dreams, right? Don't just jump off a cliff and then end up being somebody else's problem, or things like that, right? Because then you're gonna feel bad about it. So I would say, like, for people who are door dashing and YouTubing, and it's like, Yeah, don't quit DoorDashing for YouTube. Keep DoorDashing and then YouTube. I mean, we're going on almost 2 hours live. We're at almost an hour 45. I'll probably try to cut it off at the hour and 45, but we're almost an hour and 45 minutes live on YouTube. And I'm still, what did I do? My first half of the day was eBay. It was kind of a bust, but not every day is a winner. And my second half of the day is going to be DoorDash. So what am I doing? I'm working, right? So everybody needs to learn like that, you know, it's not being realistic to like kill the buzz of like your dreams. It's like, dude, you've got to build your dreams at a certain pace. It takes a long time for some even to get monetized. Yeah, and even when you get monetized, like this channel, some days makes $1. You know what I mean? Live off $1 a day. You know what I mean? So that's and like I say, like you said, it even takes a long time just to get monetized for some people. So yeah, instead of focusing about that on that kind of thing, just focus on being you and doing you and doing your thing that helps you be creative and helps you be a better person, and all that other stuff will come. I think it will, and even if it doesn't come the way you think it is, and sometimes it's better if you don't. I've seen people go viral. I've seen people get famous on YouTube, and it's not been a good thing for most of them, actually. You know, so you got to be careful what you wish for. I think I was talking about this yesterday. Be careful what you wish for, because you know, when you make a video, and I thought about that a lot of times. I've made video and I'm like, man, I'd love this video to do really well. And then I'm like, man, if it does really well, what do we do with that? Is it good enough to do well? You know, and this is how you hone your craft. You get better at what you do, and you become prepared over time to be better when the time comes. If you did get a viral video or something, you know what I mean? To handle it, because like I was saying, the other content creator we were talking about, I'm not going to name them. They got a few good videos and they started making money. I think they made like several thousand in a month, which is wild. I mean, because like I said, I make most of the time like $1 or $2 a day, if that, you know. And some days are better, obviously. Some days are good and some days are not. But I'm just saying, just the realistic image of what YouTube can be for people that are small creators or whatever. And and this person went off telling people, you know, you should quit your job, do this, quit your job, make videos every day, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, we all know good and well who've been making videos for a long time. Most people, that's not going to be the thing. Like, you're not going to blow up. You got to give yourself probably a year or two, at least, just to get to the point where you're making anything. And then some people don't even get there. But if you're making videos out of passion for things that you like and enjoy, then that's what you're getting out of it. That's what I get out of it. And the community too, like, you know, hanging out with you guys is cool. It's a cool part of my life. I don't have a lot of real life friends, actually. I mean, I do have a few, but a lot of us we live in different places. We all work all the time. You know what I mean? Like, most of my friends are either getting out of work, like people that I know that I would hang out with are still either at work, or they're going to get off work and go drive the traffic now. You know what I mean? And they got to get off and take the dog out and stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, so it's cool. It's cool to hang out with you guys. But yeah, I mean, do things because you like doing them, not for money, because that's not going to work out for 95% of people, man. But I'm not saying, I never would say don't pursue your hobbies and things like that either. I would always say do that. Of course, do that. Just make sure you're taken care of first, right? Make sure your bills are paid. Like this person I'm talking about, they quit. I don't think they DoorDash anymore, right? Their content was built on DoorDash. So, yeah, it's like, and then now they're asking for money from people because they spent all the money, I guess. I don't know. You know, it's just crazy. It's like if you would, and I just think to myself, it's like if you just kept making content like you were and kept it humble and kept it real, and then just keep DoorDashing. So you make, like, I do this to make sure that I have a certain amount of money coming in every day, no matter what happens with eBay, no matter what happens with YouTube, no matter what happens with the stock market, crypto, whatever. I do have a lot of seeds planted, but no matter what happens, I make enough money every day for my family and I to subsist. and to try to not touch what little savings, you know, whatever. You get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get into my financial picture. I'm not going to do that. But yeah, you got to take care of yourself while you're doing it. You know what's sad? My most popular videos are the memorials to my dog and my wife. Well, you know, the good thing is that they, I guess it's kind of honorable though that they're memorialized and that people got to see that, I guess. And, you know, in a way. So I always try to find the silver lining. I don't want to say silver lining, but I'm always trying to find the upside of things, you know. But yeah, you know what though, Dan, you never know. You may make a video one day. Like, I mean, so here's the thing. Like I said, don't count on it, but you never know. You know, it's the weirdest things happen. You might make a video one day and it's like, for whatever reason, people just looking for that thing or that place, you know, and then boom. But, you know, think of the friends and people that you meet too. Like, I never thought that I'd meet people like online or whatever like that. I never was a date online person. I met my wife in person, all my friends in person. I never was one of those people who met people online like that. Like, I remember my mom back in the day, she had like one or two friends she would play like games online with. That was like way back in the 90s and stuff. And, you know, it was interesting because I was like, oh, that's interesting. You know, they're a friend, but we never met. So kind of weird. But, you know, it's a part of reality nowadays. And, yeah, I've met you guys online. I've met a lot of people online that, I'm going to say a lot, but it's been good. It's been an extra addition to, you know, I don't really have much social life. Of course, I don't really need much social life because I have my kids and my wife, you know, some of my family, extended family is still alive and stuff. So we hang out and, you know, that's great. That's all the social life I really need in person, really. And maybe I have a couple other friends, like one or two, literally. And we talk sometimes, and sometimes we hang out and do car stuff, which I appreciate. And then beyond that, I don't want to go to the club or the bar. I don't want to go to the bar and hang out. I don't want it to be what's one of those shows like with the bar where they hang out every night. It's the same people. I don't want to do that. I don't need to live in an apartment complex like Friends and hang out with the same people. Like, you know what I mean? I don't need that at this time, at this stage of my life. It is nice to be able to talk to you guys. It shows a lot of people are good people on YouTube because they are showing me love and support. Well, absolutely. You know, and people are real, man. And they people know, man. People know what it's like to lose people, and it strikes a nerve, it strikes a chord in people's hearts. And they understand, like, and they care about you. And, you know, sometimes it's kind of like parasocial, but at the same time, when you watch people or whatever, and then something happens, then, yeah, people feel that, you know, because we're real. We are human beings. I prefer in-person relationships, of course. I think we all do. But at the same time, we are all humans and people. And if we've had these discussions, like, for, you know what I mean, for enough time, then you kind of do care. I guess you do kind of care about people, you know, and it is what it is. But it's good that you have that support from YouTube. So YouTube's more than just money. Like, for the kids now, you know, it's like, yeah, I want to be a content creator, make all this money and live stream and do all this stuff and be like Asmongold or whatever, right? And it's just not like, it's not that for 95% of people, maybe even 99% of people. Most people are not making a living on YouTube. And, but there's a lot of other things going on out here. So people learn how to work on their car. I've done a lot of that on YouTube. So people read, I use the free audiobook. Sometimes there's audiobooks uploaded on YouTube, and I use it, man. When I'm driving out here, try to keep up with you guys' channels and stuff too. A lot of times, though, you'll notice I don't post for a few days and stuff. Sometimes I'm just like, dude, I will go away for a while sometimes, and I'll get into books, and I'll get into my work, and then I'll come back. And I'll come back and check on everybody and everything. But it's just, I do that. I have to do that. It keeps me sane. to do that, right? So I take advantage of that. The audio books, some things like that. There's some philosophers on YouTube, modern day philosophers, interesting. And then there's people that we meet each other and we become friends or whatever to some degree or on some level. And like you were saying, you have support for when things happen in your family, you know. Kendra, how you doing? You're late to the live stream. We're almost done. I don't know. I've been a couple hours. How you doing? Welcome to the Monday midday live. That's what it is. That's what it's going to be. I think we're going to do it kind of regularly. Hello to everyone in the chat. How are you doing? Yeah. Hope you're doing well today, Kendra. Yeah, we've talked about a lot of different things today. We talked about travel and talk about things we're going to do on the channel, or like things like I have a list of things that we need to go do. So we went over some of those lists. And I have a different microphone today because I have a new phone, so I was using that for the live yesterday. Noticed that the audio was terrible, so I'm trying to upgrade the audio a little bit. So I have a different microphone. Hope it sounds okay. Yeah. What else? Yeah, we've just been talking about a lot of stuff, man. Traveling, life. But yeah, it's been fun. You missed a lot of great chat. Yeah, I mean, it was good. It was good chat. I think it was good. I've had a good live stream. I've appreciated everybody being here and hanging out. You know, I'm kind of boring sometimes. I like to be exciting though. I do like exciting things, but I don't know how exciting I personally am. I have the voice of a TV extra, so I don't know why you guys hang out, but I do appreciate you hanging out. So that sounds good. Yeah, I've been trying to find a good microphone that will go with my phone. So what I got, does this sound good? Because I'm trying this one and it's a lapel, it's like a lav mic, but I have it on my visor up here. Yeah, I have it on my visor up here, and it's close as it would be if I had it on my chest or whatever. So hopefully it sounds good. Let me know what you think, because that's one of the things I've been trying to do today is get people's opinion on the microphone and how it sounds. It sounds good. Well, that's good. I'll show you what it kind of is, Kendra, if you're interested. Now, this was a no-name. This was like the cheapest one I could find on Amazon. And then I went to the bin store today because I was doing my eBay stuff, because that's what I do on Mondays. So we'll probably talk about on the Monday, the midday lives like this. But I found this, which is another no-name Chinese kind of thing. And it's this little thing here, and it hooks into the back of the phone, and it's wireless, and it's these little lapel mics, and so you can clip them on. But like I said, I have mine up here right now. It seems to be working. I'll review some of the video later and see, but you guys, I'll take you at your word. Yeah, and they're wireless, and you get two, and it's pretty universal. I think they're all Chinese made, like whatever, but there's better ones and not so good ones. This is like, honestly, this is the cheapest one I could find. And then this was like $5 at the bin store. And I played with it a little bit before I went live, but I wanted to use this one because I got a dead cat on there, so that if the wind comes in or whatever, it won't bother it. And if it sounds good, I might roll with this for a while, and then I'll work on upgrading later. But I'm going to probably play around with these too, because, yeah, whatever. Now that I got them, I can have fun with them. So, but yeah. So that's what you can do. This is like less than $20, dude. It was on sale. So the one I got, it comes with this bag, and it's just USB-C stuff. It hooks up to the back of the phone. I can show you. Actually, I have my second. Actually, let me get my third phone out. I got three. But yeah, it just hooks up back there like that. And this one won't work because of the case, but yeah, it kind of hooks up there, and it transmits wirelessly to these. Oh, shoot, I just dropped a magnet. So I gotta look and find that. But yeah, and some of them have, the ones I bought have magnetic lapel clips, which I think you'd probably end up losing. But what I did was I also found I had a fridge magnet that was like a little, just a round, pretty powerful magnet. And these clips are like, well, I guess I'll show you. And they don't work so good on the, I didn't like the way it sounded on the lapel, so that's why I put it out here. but it's like a clip, and it just goes on it like magnetically, and then you can clip that to whatever. But what I found was, since this is magnetic, I had a stronger magnet, a little like this, and I was able to put that like inside my shirt. Well, turn it around, and just kind of, and it actually held. I don't know if this would hold if I was walking around. This isn't the microphone I'm using, by the way. This is not the live one. This is the other one. It comes in the kit. But anyway, yeah, so there you go. That's your solution, and it might work. And I don't know if this is high enough quality. You guys are saying it sounds good. I'll review it later. I'm trying to get better with my quality, man. I heard the live stream last night or whatever. Somebody said it didn't sound the best or whatever, and I played a little bit of it to listen to it. And it was just a phone microphone, and it really wasn't that good. It sounded terrible. Now, your audio always sounds pretty good, Kendra, so I don't know. I don't know if we just have different phones. This is a S25. It's a new one. I had to get it because I switched carriers. So I had to switch phones because the other one was another carrier. And they gave me a deal on this one. So I did get it like it's like a new-ish phone. Let's block that sunlight. But yeah, so whatever. That's my solution for now. That's the best I could find for the price, and it seems to be working. Me too. I'm not in position to have $9 million equipment, so I use my phone for everything. I definitely want to have great quality stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, just do some research or whatever. But these, I guess, a lot of people are using these type of microphones. Like I said, this is kind of the cheap one, but some cheap ones are better than other cheap ones. You know what I mean? And it's definitely an improvement over the phone. So I'm ready to roll with it for now, I guess. Said I'll review it today. I have these other ones I'll try, and if they're better, that's great. You know what I mean? Dude, the sun is like wild, man. It wasn't like this. I parked here, it was great, but now the sun is setting, and so it's getting me. We're going on 2 hours live, guys. 2 hours on the live stream. It's kind of wild. I'm getting hungry. The Civic has a it's like a little misfire on what's it, number 2 cylinder. So what I'm going to do is, but I think it might be a, today's sound is much better than yesterday. Thank you, Teal Horse. Thank you for popping in and let us know how the sound is. That's great. That's the goal, at least. So we're trying to improve. I can probably improve upon this too, but the Civic is, has a misfire. And, the thing is that engine is kind of worn out. And so, what I'll probably do is, I don't know. I think I need to put an engine in it or rebuild the engine that's in there. It's a D16 Z6. It's not like blown, but I'm pretty sure low compression on that cylinder, or it may have even been some situation with the valve. I have not even put a compression tester up to it yet because I've been very busy. So what I did was I parked it for now, and I do need to do some work on the Civic. So I don't know if I'm going to rebuild it. Somebody was in here yesterday. I was talking about they were in automotive class, and it made me think about it. I was like, man, maybe I should go sign up for the automotive engine building class at the community college, and I can pretend I never took it before because I took it at the same college. But I remember we used to rebuild people's engines, and I was thinking, man, maybe they will let me pull. I could pull my engine, take it up there. Maybe they'll let us rebuild it in class, and I can use their equipment to rebuild the engine. That would be ideal, and that way I don't have to buy a whole nother engine. I can just buy pistons, rings. I may get a set of valves depending on how the condition is when I look into the engine, and just everything that I need to overhaul it. Probably get some bearings while I'm at it, right, and just go ahead and do all of it. And I was thinking about that, man. It'd be worth taking the class to just do that and get some free labor. My husband is always rebuilding motors and fixing people's cars. Nice little bit extra income or money sometimes. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's a great little side gig if you're interested in doing it like that. Now the thing about it is, I like cars and I like working on cars to some degree. I really don't like rebuilding engines, and I've done it before. I've rebuilt this same type of engine before, the same exact, like the D16 Z6 before. I just don't really like it. I kind of need, like, I want people to hang out with when I'm doing it and stuff. You know, it's like, and I don't have time like that to hang out. It's fun if I can hang out and relax and take my time and do a little bit today and do a little bit tomorrow, whatever. But I don't have time like that. I used to have time like that. I don't. So now it's annoying because it's taking time from everything else. So now it's just like freaking annoying to do it. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of a trade-off. So it's the same thing. It's good at it, but doesn't find it fun. Performance stuff is more fun. Yeah, it's always more fun when you're doing something you planned on doing, even if it's an overhaul. If I'd have planned on it and been like, hey, look, I've got this stuff for the Civic. I'm putting it together. I'm getting the valve seals and the rings and the bearings and all this stuff, all the parts that you need, the gaskets and everything. And we're gonna take it out. We're gonna put it on the stand. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna hone the block, everything. We're gonna send the head off to the machine shop. All this, and had it planned out, and it was something I wanted to do for performance purposes, especially, or whatever. Maybe we're gonna turbo it or something. That would be more. I would be more into that. I could probably make videos around that and probably do pretty good with the videos. But you know what? I was driving it for work, and it happened, and then I was like, man, this sucks. It's like one work car down. So I have multiple cars, but yeah, it's a pain, dude. It's a pain when you have to do it. And you didn't get to plan for it. Sometimes better option is the second cheapest when it comes to microphones. You might be right, Fever Dream. Oh, I don't know if this was exactly I said it was the cheap. I don't know. There was a few in that same ballpark, between like 15 and 30. And this was on sale, and I think it was like maybe like $28. I'm not on sale, but it was like 17 or 18 on sale, something like that. So between $15 and $20. I can't remember exactly, but it was the cheapest one I could find that I could get there today, like yesterday, because I did the live stream yesterday. Sounds terrible. I was like, man, I'm getting a mic tonight. I'm done with this. I'm not gonna do it. And this might be better than with the other setup that I do too. So now I got to rethink all of my videos on both channels. But that's cool. Trying to improve, always trying to do better. So that's what I'm working on, is trying to just do better for you guys. I mean, if you're going to listen to me, I appreciate you being here. Maybe it won't be so like that. The sound was bad. If you look at yesterday's live stream, I wouldn't want to listen to it. You know what I mean? A couple of you stuck with me the whole time. I appreciate you, man. Y'all are awesome. But maybe this makes it a little better. And I think, honest, and from a YouTuber perspective, I think better audio is important. I wonder how many people have clicked on certain videos that I had early on when I was just using a phone, or even the ones where I use my GoPro, the standard mic, and they just don't like the audio. Maybe they're listening to earbuds and they just don't like the audio or whatever. It makes you wonder, and then they click off, and maybe they wouldn't click off so fast if the audio was a little better. You know what I mean? And I got to get this right for my other channel too, because it's all just me talking just like this. That's all it is. So no pictures of pretty cars and music and stuff like that, like I sometimes have over here. But anyway, well, Kendra, I appreciate you stopping by. Teal Horse, appreciate you stopping by as well. It's awesome. Thanks for hanging out in the live stream. It's been 2 hours, so I think I'm gonna have to call it a day here in a little bit. I'm gonna get some food. I'm getting very hungry. Dan is cooking chicken over there, and I want some chicken now. I'm getting hungry. I haven't eaten today, except for that little bit of, I think I had that little bit of like cereal, like bran, whatever. And then protein shake, some essential aminos I think I had, a little bit of creatine, I think, just a bunch of water. I haven't eaten any real food today, really. Sorry I missed so much. Have a great evening. Enjoy your dinner. I appreciate you, Kendra. No, you're good. I was just messing with you when you showed up and saying you were late and everything. The fact that you showed up is awesome, and I appreciate that. I don't make it to all of you guys' lives whenever you do it either all the time. Sometimes I'll replay them later. Yeah, we all got stuff we're doing. I was like telling Dan earlier, like sometimes I get lost in for a couple days in a book or something. You know what I mean? Literally. And I'm driving around either listening to the book or, God forbid, if I have to get a hard copy and actually read it, it takes me a lot longer. I'm pretty slow. So, you know, but I do. Sometimes I have to do that for a couple days, and I'm not watching like YouTube for a couple days at a time sometimes. And that's how it happens. So go eat. Yeah, you guys don't want me to wither away and just like not be here anymore, right? We'll do another live. We've got to be here for the next Monday midday live. Now, I don't know how many more lives I'm going to do, like how frequently here, but I'm going to be doing the Monday midday lives, I think, as a thing. Like after I go to the bin store, do that. Maybe we'll talk about the haul. Today was not anything to talk about, so whatever. And then we'll talk about the hustle a little bit. Maybe some DoorDash stuff. We'll keep up with the price of gas, whatever. $2.63 today is what I got gas for. If you weren't here earlier, $2.63. Pretty amazing, I thought. So I filled the tank up. And but yeah, wherever you're at, let me know what of course, as always, let me know what gas is, where you're at and everything. But I appreciate all of y'all. I think I am going to end it here so I can get a little bit of food. And then I'm going to go drive around. I'm going to go do the DoorDash hustle. We did the eBay thing. We did the YouTube thing. Now it's time to go do the DoorDash thing for a little while. And then we'll go get some sleep and do the eBay thing again. Then maybe the YouTube thing, then the DoorDash thing for a while, right? That's life. But anyway, all right, guys, really, I appreciate each and every single one of you being here. Y'all mean the world doing that. And it helps the channel, too, because I got to keep the channel alive. So anyway, with that said, I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end the live here. Y'all have a great day. Take care.